Next to the last one, complete the proof that angle RTS is congruent to XWY. All right, so this is our proof, and this is where we start. We start with them telling us that VX, so there's our VX, is parallel to SU. They've already marked it in the picture, so I don't need to. And then they tell us that angle XWY is congruent to UTW. And that's by our corresponding angle postulate. And that makes sense because those are corresponding angles. And we were able to say that they were corresponding angles because we started with parallel. All right, so they tell us these two, but what we really want is this one and that one. So this one we already have in our proof right there. So this one right here, we need to get into our proof. So how is this angle right here, the one we need, angle RTS, related to any of our angles that we see right here? It's related to this one right there, yeah? Those two are vertical angles. So by vertical angles, and they use vertical angle theorem, we can say that angle RTS, and I'm going to double check and make sure I use the letters in the right order that they want us to, RTS is going to be congruent to UTW, angle UTW. And you got to make sure you use those angle symbols and all three letters or it won't count it for you. So that's not quite where we wanted to go, but it's closer by the vertical angle theorem. So then here's my RTS. I want to keep that, but I don't want to keep the UTW. Instead of the UTW, I would like to have an XWY. Where do we have an XWY? There's an XWY, and it's equal to UTW. So instead of UTW, we can write angle XWY is going to be congruent to angle RTS. And this is where you would have to click the add a line. It'll give you space to write that in. And we know that those two are going to be congruent because instead of the UTW, so instead of this, I wrote that. So that's our substitution property. And last one, this is our given, this is our prove, and we want to prove that two things are parallel, so automatically I know this is good. We know that this is going to be converse of whatever we're working with. So PRQ, so we know that angle right there is supplementary to TUW. And we know those are supplementary because supplementary means, or they add up to be 180 degrees, because supplementary means two angles that add up to be 180. So they've got the PRQ and TRW is equal to 180. And then if we're going to prove that things are parallel, we're probably going to want to use the converse of corresponding angles. So we want to either get QRU or TUR in there, and they chose to go the QRU, so they did PRU, that one right there, plus that one right there, equal to 180 degrees because they make a line or a linear pair, and angles form a linear pair summed to be 180 degrees. And then here's PRQ for the next step, plus TUW. So there it is right there. And here they have it equal to 180 degrees, but that's not what they have there. Here they've got PRQ plus angle QRU is equal to 180. So instead of this 180, they wrote PRQ is equal to QRU. So instead of this, they wrote that. That's the transitive property of equality. It will also, and I've tried it out, it will also take substitution. And I can't go straight to parallel from here, so this one's not going to be our last step. Because in order to say parallel, right now we've got to say that two corresponding angles are congruent, and that's not what we have here. That's not two corresponding angles. So I would need to say two corresponding angles are equal or congruent. So in order to say that, I would have to go angle TUW. And if you're not sure what to pick, just find the two that are the same. Those are the ones that are going to get subtracted out. And so you're going to be left with TUW is going to be equal to angle QRU. And that's, we subtracted the PRQ from both sides. So that's going to be algebra, or the subtraction, property of equality. So now that we have the TUW is equal to QRU, those are our corresponding angles and those are congruent, we can say that the lines are parallel to each other. So QS is parallel to line TV. And we know because of the converse of the corresponding angle postulate. So with these proofs, they're going to be kind of tough to start with. This is going to be something that you haven't seen before, and it's totally new and a new thought process. Just stick with it, work through these examples, rework them if you need to, and you'll be all right.